In today's climate, nothing will make you a more accurate or confident shooter than Crimson Trace laser sighting systems. Get the immediate, decisive advantage of the world's only grip-integrated laser sights today. Shoot better. Stay safer. Crimson Trace.
Today on Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, we're in Las Vegas at the huge SHOT Show, where everyone who makes anything for guns, ammo, or optics is showing off the new stuff. Tom's in the Crimson Trace booth with a lineup of guests announcing what's new. This is going to move fast, so hang on. Now, from on location at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas, here's Tom.
So much fun hanging out with all my buddies around here, having a ball. We got the guys from Gunsite come by, the gun companies. We're in the Crimson Trace booth. We're at the SHOT Show in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're joined by our very good friend, Chris Killoy. He is president and COO. You got a lot of titles these days, my friend.
Well, I think, it's Ruger's such a great company. We've got a lot of good people, so it's really a team effort. So.
Well, it is, and I know a lot of stuff lands on your desk. I would like for people to at least know a little bit about you. This is not a job where you go in and say, I'm going to go learn about guns. You're a gun guy first.
Yeah, I've been doing this for a while now. I went to the U.S. Military Academy at West Point, so I was on active duty with the Army for a while, and then retired out of the Army Reserve. And then went to Smith & Wesson in 1989, was there about 15 years, and then to Ruger in 2003. So I've been in this business for a while, and it really is a great company.
Well, it is. Ruger's a great company, and you guys turn out new products like crazy. And it used to be we waited till SHOT Show to introduce them. Now, when they're ready, you bring them out.
Right. We try to bring them out as soon as they're ready, but we want to make sure we have product available to ship to our distributors who can ship it to retailers. There's no sense in announcing a product, making a big splash, winning a lot of awards, and not having product to ship.
Yeah, exactly right. So you got like a deck of cards here. With each card is a new introduction you have here. So let's just start and run through some of them so people can know what you guys have been up to.
Well, in past few months, we've had some really cool introductions. I think it was in September we had the Ruger AR-556, which is our first gas impingement system that we had. Prior to that, we had the SR-556 with the piston system.
Gun, yeah.
And so this hits a much lower price point, but still has all the cool things. Still got the forward assist lever, got the dust cover, really full featured AR at a very reasonable price point.
Okay.
In the fun category, we brought back the Charger. And the Charger pistol is just one of those things that when people say, well, what's that for? It's like, exactly.
For fun. I mean, for people that don't know what we're talking about, imagine it's a 1022 rifle, but it's a pistol.
Correct.
Fair enough?
We use a 1022 receiver. Mm-hmm. It's a 10-inch barrel, so it's a shorter barrel. It's got the 15-round magazine. And this year we added another wrinkle. We put an AR-style grip on it, but we also made it in a takedown configuration. So it's really cool.
Yeah, it is. Now, I will tell you, one of the more fun things you can do with this is stick a bipod or some kind of like that on it, and they're stunningly accurate. Yeah, crazy accurate.
It ships with a bipod and the 15-round magazine, which works perfect on a bench, and so it's a great fun gun, squirrel gun.
I mean, you're sitting there, you're hitting a quarter every time at 25 yards.
Right.
Absolutely not a problem at all.
And it takes because it's a 1022 receiver, it takes your 25-round magazine or your 10-round BX1, the full range of 1022 accessories.
I suggest you get a lot of mags because you don't want to spend all that much time loading them up because you're going to shoot this gun a lot.
Right.
It's that much fun.
Exactly.
Okay, that's cool.
And then, on the handgun side, we've got some cool additions there. We recently came out with, our popular LC9 pistol that had been a hammer-fired configuration. We now have it in a striker.
LC9S.
LC9S. So right. The LC9S is a striker-fired configuration. Great trigger pull. And so, we're very excited about that. And that's done really well. Wonderful trigger pull. Mm-hmm. We also added a pro version of that. And by pro version, no manual safety, no magazine safety disconnect.
Oh, okay.
And that's really listening to customers who said that's the way they wanted to get that gun. So we offer it both ways.
Okay.
On the revolver side, cool things happening there as well. In the LCR platform, which we introduced initially in just the 38 caliber, double action only. Now we've got the external hammer version, so we've got an LCRX for external hammer.
Right.
3-inch adjustable sight, which is really cool. And that makes it, kind of the perfect kit gun.
That's your Woods carry gun.
Exactly.
3-inch barrel. It's just a slight bit more shootable with a 3-inch barrel. You can shoot. The great part about 38 Special is you got all these loads available for it.
Right, and you of course anything from snake loads, snake shot to right up through some great defensive loads.
Exactly.
We also in the LCR category brought in the 9mm pistol caliber cartridge on the LCR, and one of the things when you're using a pistol caliber cartridge in a revolver is how do you extract it and how do you headspace?
Well, the moon clips and all that. Right?
Exactly, and in this case, we do headspace off of the in the chamber, so you can actually fire it without the moon clips, but the moon clips are there for the extraction. And the guys and gals in our engineering department did a great job coming up with very user-friendly moon clips, so you don't need those big tools to try to remove each round.
We've all had that experience. Easy to get them in, not easy to get them out.
Right. So they've done such a nice job with that.
Oh, good.
The other thing this year is some cool accessories. One of the things that, Ruger's done over the years is we've built some great platforms, things like the 1022. I've called that it's kind of like a small block Chevy. Everybody can work on it. But, over the years, we had kind of neglected doing our own accessories. Mm-hmm. Now we've got some great accessories that we've offered. Our BX trigger. Right. Very cool. And that's a drop-in trigger for the, gives us about a 3.5-pound trigger pull on the 1022. It's a drop-in, and you can try it out in the store. It's got a unique housing, so you can test, set the trigger, pull it, and check it out yourself.
Right.
We also have a very cool AR trigger.
I was going to say, I didn't know if you were ready to talk about that, but it's out there. Okay.
It's out there, yep. Okay. It's the we call it the Elite 452 trigger.
Right.
And that's 4.5-pound trigger pull, 2-stage.
But it's not just the trigger mechanism, it's the trigger and the grip.
Exactly.
Assembly, the whole fire control system.
Exactly. And again, we've got videos on our website that make it very easy to install. Comes with a great grip as well. Mm-hmm. And it's got a housing that you can, again, dry fire it and test the trigger out and get a feel for it in the store before you buy it.
Wow, okay.
So that's pretty cool.
A lot of neat stuff.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you if you would talk for just a sec. Well, first, okay, you flip the page now. You stopped me. It's a 1911, so I stopped talking.
I have one more favorite. Of course,
don't we love the 1911s?
Love it. The SR9. I was just talking to some folks from Gunsite, where we do a lot of testing at our Prescott facility. They're right next door, and some great folks there. We have now the third addition to our SR 1911 lineup, and this is the lightweight commander size Ruger SR 1911.
Okay.
So it's a 4.25-inch configuration with the aluminum alloy frame. But what's really cool is we've got a titanium insert, on the feed ramp, because one of the issues is on that aluminum chassis is feeding, and we've again solved that problem, and it's a lot of value for the money, and which what Ruger is known for.
Yeah, a lightweight. Look, any lightweight 1911 is great. That is a super carry gun right there. That is going to be terrific. All right, I wanted you to talk just for a second about the voice of the customer idea.
Yeah, voice of the customer for Ruger is pretty simple. We've talked about it in the past where, when Mr. Ruger was in charge, Mr. Ruger knew what customers wanted. But a guy like Bill Ruger Sr. comes along once in a lifetime, once in a century.
Right.
For the rest of us mere mortals, we have to listen to the customer, and we've got to build what they tell us they're looking for. So we spend a lot of time talking to real users, going out to places like Gunsite or FTW in Texas, as well as working a lot of shows. We come to a show like SHOT Show or a lot of retail promotions, and we like to bring our engineers with us so they can listen to real shooters. And so it's not just the sales guys telling them, hey, this is what we think was needed. It's talking to the real customers and saying, how do we get what they're looking for back into the factory and into the products?
It's a great concept. I mean, and you got other stuff. You got Scout Rifle. You got some stuff you're doing with FTW. You got all kinds of things, and we'll get to that another time because we're out of time.
I know.
And we can send them to the it's all on the website.
It's all on the website, www.ruger.com.
Right.
A lot of cool new stuff there, and again, it's all shipping.
It's all shipping right now.
Exactly.
Outstanding. Yep. Thank you so much. This is just always a pleasure to talk guns with you, man.
I know. It's a lot of fun.
It is.
Fun business.
Chris Killoy from Ruger. Check it out, Ruger.com. All right, we'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently. When it comes to personal protection, nothing beats a Bodyguard. Choose the lightweight, compact, and concealable Bodyguard 380 pistol or the Bodyguard 38 revolver, both with a built-in laser sight. The Smith & Wesson Bodyguards. Carry more comfortably, walk more confidently.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
TopGunSupply.com carries a large selection of fine firearms and accessories. Get all the parts you need for your Sig Sauer, HK, and Glock pistols. Grips, screws, recoil springs, sights, barrels, magazines, holsters. The list goes on. Our knowledgeable sales staff, professional service, great prices, and super fast shipping are here to help you. Check us out today. TopGunSupply.com. TopGunSupply.com.
Welcome back to the Crimson Trace booth at the SHOT Show. Here's Tom with even more gun industry news.
And we are back at the SHOT Show in the Crimson Trace booth. And we grab almost anybody who will walk by here. I mean, I'm not particular at all. And this dude walks by, and he's just telling funny stories and going, hey, you know anything about guns?
I want to be on the radio.
Yeah, Rob Leatham from Springfield Armory has joined us now. A guy who's new to shooting and kind of getting it figured out.
I think if somebody would give me a whole bunch of guns and ammo, I could be good at this.
Seriously, how many times have you had people say, well, you know, if I had all the ammo that he has, I could be that good?
That's almost the normal question for somebody coming into the game. First one was, how do I get sponsored? I said, I win a couple world matches. And they say, well, I can't do that till I practice. So then you need to practice. He says, well, I can't practice till you guys give me some ammo. I says, oh.
We have a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
We have a problem, chicken and egg.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's not up to us to make you. You know, you got to figure out how to do it, basically.
Right, yeah.
And the only way you can do it is shoot a lot.
Shoot a lot. Yeah, there's no shortcut. You got to put a lot of rounds down range, and you have to do a structured practice, although coming structured for me must sound pretty fun.
I was just going to say,
you know me real well.
Mr. ADD over here is
Squirrel.
Structure. Yeah. So when you're getting serious for your shooting season, how much do you shoot?
Well, 3 years ago was probably my largest round count year, and I shot almost 60,000. It's not some astronomical number like 1 million rounds or anything like that. 60,000 is a lot because that's over 1,000 rounds a week, and you realize when we're at a match, that's where we shoot the least.
Right.
You know, a practice session could be anywhere from 300 to 500 rounds. So if I'm in a busy part of the year and not traveling and not shooting a match, then I'm practicing, so I'm shooting 300 rounds every day. When you do that, I can tell you, since in the last 2 weeks, I've shot every single day except when I've been here.
And you shoot to keep in shape, too.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's the muscles that you build in your forearms, your shoulders, and your calves. For shooting, cross training is not the right way to build those muscles. Holding the gun up, there's no other sport other than shooting that I'm aware of that you basically hold your arms out extended
in front of you,
right in front of you the whole time. Yeah. So that's the
in any other sport you'd look stupid doing.
Yeah, well, you look at me. He's not an athlete. That's not an athlete. But in this sport, I am.
That's right. At least I play one on TV.
That's right. Yeah.
So what have you guys been up to over at Springfield?
Well, we've got a bunch of new stuff coming out. A lot of changes. We're updating some models. We're adding variants and some brand new models that are pretty exciting.
Yeah, of course we got the Mod 2, which is very cool, and you know, it's one of those that I know people get tired of hearing it, but seriously, you got to go get your hands on it to get it.
That's exactly right. You know, it's funny you say it that way, because I've done, through the course of the week, I've told a lot of people about the guns. But until you put that gun in your hand, you know, the grip zone,
right?
It's kind of a funny sounding word,
right?
But in reality, you'll go, oh, yeah, okay, I get it. I mean, it's smooth here where it needs to be. It's coarse here, and it's real coarse in this position. Helps you control the gun. I mean, it makes perfect sense in your hand.
It really is. And I don't envy you guys trying to explain it to somebody.
Yeah, that's always the hard part. In print and or in photos or even on a video, I can sit there and tell you this is why it's cool. But when the gun's in your hand, you feel it. You go, yeah, that feels better. And I've never been able, Tom, in my whole shooting career, a gun that didn't feel good in my hand that I didn't like, I never shot well.
Can't shoot it.
I never shot well. I've had guns through my career that I couldn't tell you why I didn't like them. They just didn't feel good in my hand. But on the ransom rest, they shot great groups and they're reliable. But the guns that when you pick it up and it's just it just fits. I guess that's the word for it. I don't think about the gun then when I'm shooting, so I can focus on aiming or the competition or the course of fire. And
all right, let me throw a random thing at you. Just how cool is a 1911 and 9mm?
It's the best thing going. Bottom line,
just that.
It's just the best thing going. If you're somebody that wants the easiest gun to shoot, and you want a center fire pistol, it is Some people are scared of the thumb safe, but in reality, the thumb safety is the best part of a 1911 because that's what allows you to have such a fantastic trigger, and you get to have such a thin frame and the flat sides. The part of a 1911 that makes it awesome to shoot is the feel of that frame and how easy it is to tell where the gun's pointed. And the best part about a gun that doesn't kick is you can shoot it faster. You're going to be more accurate. And the 9mm kicks less than the 40s and 45s. So that's what I used to win a world match. And I don't think I would have ever even considered that a few years ago.
And the ammo's cheaper.
Oh, my gosh. Half the price, practically.
Yeah.
Might actually be half the price.
Yeah, and as much ammo as you're going through, that's a huge factor.
Yeah.
But even if you're out going to buy 500 rounds, it really makes a difference.
Yeah, it's dramatically cheaper. And the other part of it, for those people listening that want to really hone their skills, it's not just the dollars. You've got to shoot.
What it is you could spend the same amount of money and shoot almost twice as much.
Exactly. That's just about what it works out to. And for me, I can shoot 30 to 40% more rounds of 9mm than I can 45 before I start seeing the initial fatigue set in.
Yeah.
And at 400 or 500 rounds of 45 ammo in a practice session or major caliber, whether you shoot in 40 or not, that's when at some point you're making empty brass. You're not really accomplishing anything.
It's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
You're making noise and you're throwing brass on the ground, but you're not advancing your skill at all.
Right, and
maybe even go backwards.
Right, exactly. I think that's possible. I think when you leave the range, the last things you did are the ones you remember. So if the last part was when you were struggling, you leave the range and not happy. So I know when to quit, and I know that if I got a lot of work to do and a lot of training, the 9mm is the best thing.
And you guys have 1911s and 9.
Yes, we do. Matter of fact, we have 2 new models. Actually, there are 3 or 4 different models, but a couple that stand out are our Range Officer Champion and the Range Officer Compact, which are kind of the same, but really configured to be a little different. The Range Officer is a modification level, that has a better set of sights, fiber optic front sight, and it's got an extended thumb safety, and just the whole concept was to build an entry-level gun, but not everybody wants a 5-inch 1911.
Right.
It's too big a gun for a concealed gun for most people. So to make a compromise, we put the 4-inch barrel assembly on the full-size frame, and we call that a Champion. So it's an inch shorter, doesn't really hurt ballistics much.
Right. And you got the full-size magazine in there, and a grip that's good to hold on to.
Good to hold on to. So you have that full-size frame. It's a nice, balanced-looking platform. If you want it, a lot of people like shorter slides, and 9mm takes the shorter, lighter slide really well.
And we should clear up something here. Shorter slide is not less accurate.
No, not at all. The smallest guns we make shoot almost exactly the same groups as the longest guns we make.
Well, we were taking the XDS out the range, and we were shooting those steel targets at 100, 110 yards.
Yeah. If you knew where to hold the handle for the drop, it's the part of the longer slide that truly helps. Yeah, it gives you a little more velocity, but is the difference negligible? I think it doesn't really matter too much. It's the sight radius.
Yes.
And it's not that it is more accurate, it's that you see the error in the sight alignment better.
But it's easier to correct.
Yeah, there you go. It's much easier to know there's something wrong to fix it. So when you want to start lining the sights up, it's much easier to tell the error, but that doesn't necessarily make the gun more accurate. And if the targets you're shooting at are bigger, like the combat shooting targets I do most of the time, I don't need to see that kind of correction. I can shoot the shortest barrel length.
Right.
I just like the balance of the 5-inch guns, or I'd shoot the 4-inch guns.
Sure.
Another shorty version we have, you take that same basic gun, cut the frame off a little bit more, and so you kind of you're kind of massaging it over to being more of a carry gun than an open carry model is the RO Compact, which is otherwise the same.
Ooh, I like the sound of that, though.
Yeah, it's a nice package. I'm sure you'll have one before I do, as is usual. They always give everything to Tom first, but I'm not bitter.
They like me better.
They do. Well, and I can understand that. You're a nicer guy.
And who doesn't?
Yeah, who doesn't? You're right.
Oh. So, you do anything else these days?
Mm-hmm. No, just dealing with a 17-year-old daughter that's going to graduate high school, and I'm trying to figure out where the last 5 years went.
Yeah, no kidding. That's right. Well, you got a shooting family, too. So
yeah, well, we love shooting. My wife does a thing, her handgun, where they teach ladies, and don't ever let her know this, but she works more than I do. Really? She teaches almost every week a couple classes, with new lady shooters. And guess what? They all like the bigger guns better than the smaller guns.
Of course.
Every one of them.
Well, everybody... They always want to hand the little gun to the lady, right? You go, no, don't do that.
Wrong.
It's just the opposite of what you want to do.
That's right. You give them something that's easier to hold on to, not something harder.
So, if somebody wanted to take a class from your wife, how do they go about that?
Oh boy, I better know this. Herhandgun.com, all one word. That's their class.
Okay.
That's their website, and that's where you can get a hold of her.
Herhandgun.com.
That's it.
Okay. Now I know that Springfield's got a lot of other stuff we didn't have time to talk about.
You got rifles and all sorts of things.
All kind of cool stuff. It's all on the website. Springfield Armory. Springfield-Armory.
Springfield-Armory.com.
Right.
Yep. That's where you can see all this new stuff.
Okay. And what are you going to be doing? You going to be competing the devil out of the...
Back to work again. We'll start after the SHOT Show. I'll start my training program back up and start burning rounds downrange and get ready to go.
Yeah, it's simple as that.
Have another hard year shooting everybody else's ammo.
See, that's why people don't like you.
Oh, yeah, I shouldn't have said that out loud, right?
That's just
did I mention I get paid to do that, shooting other people? Oh, wait, that's not going to help.
That's why people actually hate you. As simple as this. We've been meaning to have this intervention with you, my friend.
I see all my friends have come here today.
That's it. All right. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right here at the SHOT Show.
One of Talker Magazine's 100 most important radio talk show hosts in America. You're listening to Gun Talk, heard every week at this time on great radio stations across America. Stay tuned. Gun Talk is coming right back. Put together 60,000 of your friends to talk about guns and shooting, and you have the SHOT Show. Now here's Tom from the Crimson Trace booth.
And we are back with Tom Gresham here, Gun Talk. Check it out, guntalk.com. Of course, you can always go look at our videos on YouTube. The brand new Season 2 of First Person Offender is up on our channel on YouTube. Check that one out. And, oh yes, of course, don't forget we have our new Gun Talk gun, the limited edition, 1 of 1,000. Only going to run 1,000 of these. 10mm GT20 is available right now for only 60 days. Go to Dury'sGuns.com. You can see all that. Very cool gun. Exciting stuff. So we're really, really happy to announce that. Now, if you have seen First Person Offender, you know what I'm talking about. If you have not, shame on you. You should have seen this by now. And really a pleasure now to bring in, we've got Gene Wallace and Brian Berger from Simuntion. I always want to say Simunitions, guys, because probably everybody does the same. Welcome.
Thank you. Good to be here, Tom.
All right, so explain where Simuntion came from, I guess, is the first thing.
Okay, Simuntion emanated from basically a progression of paintball-type technology, whereby the idea was to make it more realistic, was to introduce converting an existing live firearm and versus a paintball type of gun where it's basically a toy. So the idea was to induce realistic equipment into the process to increase the stress level by officers.
Okay, and this has been primarily a law enforcement military application, right, in the past?
Predominantly, yes.
Okay, and this is what we use in first-person offenders. Why I want to mention this is people have to be geared up. They're wearing the helmets. They got the protective gear and all of that, and it's called force-on-force training. And people talk about the pain penalty. You got to have the pain penalty involved because when you screw up, there ought to be some lesson. And there is that, but it's not like harmful or anything. It's like somebody come up and, you know how you take your finger and thump somebody, you know? It's kind of like that. You go, ow! no, don't do that. Well, it's the same deal. When I screw up and you shoot me with a simunition, don't do that.
Absolutely.
No? So, okay, how does simunition, and we've used it, but explain how simunition works in your particular gun and which gun types are available for.
Well, we have over 70 conversion systems now in our company.
Right.
And the way they work is if we create a conversion kit for that weapons platform, what we do is we defeat the locking mechanism in the weapon system, and then we change it to a simple blowback operation.
So we make sure that you can't fire live ammo at it.
That's part of the engineered safety features into it. They're designed so that it precludes the ability to load lethal ammunition into it. So because we have say for example, we're using a 9mm system. If you have a 9mm ball round and try to load it into one of our conversion kits, our barrel diameter is 30 cal, so it's going to hold it out of battery. You're not going to be able to have it go into battery and
so you won't even be able to pull the trigger and make anything happen
Correct.
At all.
Yes.
Okay. And then on revolvers, you've got little sleeves that go in the chambers.
That's correct. We have our conversion rings. They go into the charge holes, and they shorten it so that you can't load lethal into it. The casing on our FX38 is shorter. And, of course, we have two sleeves, one for the 38, one for the 357, because of the difference in size in the charge holes.
Sure.
And that's it. It's
Makes
very
sense.
simple.
Now, we have found this to be very effective. We're able to use, real guns converted on first-person defender. And people ask us, well, can I buy those? So what's the policy? Who can have access to Simuntion FX market cartridges?
Okay, well, in the past, and the Simunition's been around roughly 20 years, but as you mentioned earlier, it was predominantly law enforcement and military. In the last year and a half, we've opened it up to certified range programs with certified instructors. They've got to be at least a Tier 1 type NRA instructor or former law enforcement or military instructor. You apply for our program, and then once you go through the process, and again, we put you through a testing process. Once you do that, you can buy our stuff. And we're, essentially, we've got about 300 range programs already around the United States with a bunch more that are coming through the process. So virtually, the easiest way to find out where we are is to go onto the Simuntion website, click on range programs, hit the state that you're in, and then you'll find out the range programs that are there. Or if you want to join the program, there's an application to download to be able to join the commercial range program.
Well, I think it's brilliant. And I got to tell you, anybody who is a firearms instructor, particularly a concealed carry instructor, who wants to increase his or her business, this is a great way to do it. You can put people into force-on-force training. You can shoot these. You don't have to have a full range, regular shooting range that captures live ammo. You could do this inside of a building.
That's correct. You can do it in your garage. You can do it in your basement. You could. We have a non-marking cartridge. You could do it anywhere in your house.
Yeah, I mean, a good example is that Gene brings up is the fact that for doing rehearsals for law enforcement inside schools, because of the soap that's in the projectiles, there's no cleanup with the non-marking round. So it saves on that. You do the training over a weekend, the students come to class on the next day, and you don't see any evidence of it.
And even the colored ones wash off.
Oh, it's
exactly.
It's soap.
It's soap. Yeah, you just wipe it down and let it go. I do still have a couple places inside my car where we're doing a scenario, and if you look under the seat down there, you're going, what is that? Oh, yeah, I remember that. That's when that guy was getting shot in my car.
I know exactly what you mean, because you got to remember the velocity that it's traveling when it makes impact.
Right.
That marking compound continues to move, and it goes around corners. It gets
it does.
It gets in some interesting places.
It's fabulous training, though, and I came up with an acronym, and you guys have seen these trainings so often. You know what I'm talking about. I call it INTOT, INTOT, where people go through the training, they go, wow, I never thought of that.
Yes. That's great. Yeah. I might steal that.
Go for it. Go for it. I mean, but it's true. Every single time. Yeah. Two things. One is they say, wow, it happened so fast. And the other is, I never thought of that. Because they've never been there. And after they've been through even just one scenario, they kind of wake up and they go, whoa, there's a whole lot of stuff I'm not aware of. I didn't know. I need to go get some more training.
Correct.
And that's exactly it. And you know, we don't only get that from the civilian side of it, we get it from the law enforcement side as well. Because when I teach the classes and we show them different ways to train, for example, scenario versus an isolation drill.
Right.
They say the same thing. I never thought of that. And they walk away from it going, next month when we do training, we're doing that.
Isn't that something?
It is.
It really is. So it is available to non-law enforcement, but you got to go through the training, the certification process.
Correct. And the starting point is to go to the Simuntion website, www.simuntion.com, and the information is very, very clear, very, very easy to do. One thing I'd add, though, Tom, is that the way you guys present it in first-person defender is very unique in the sense that you start out with a scenario, then you go live fire to the square range, then you come back and do the scenario again. That is an excellent way to demonstrate how this can be used as a training tool to increase your capability and skill set. And it's very well done, by the way.
Well,
congratulations.
thank you. We love working with you guys. And I would just add this. For each trainer who wants to recreate kind of what we're doing there, you need to have the very best safety protocols possible, and that's what you guys train. That's the certification they're going to get.
That's exactly right. And again, we allow our commercial range programs to attend our training classes. We do at least one training class someplace in the country every week of the year. So if they have any information and want to train or attend some of these training classes, by all means, just go to our website.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. Love working with you on this.
Thanks so much. Well done, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. First Person Defender is on YouTube. You can check it out right now. Hey, we'll be right back with more Gun Talk.
Inaccurate is just plain worthless. Doesn't matter if you're shooting for a national championship or just trying to beat your friend, you need accurate ammo. Nosler's match-grade handgun ammunition delivers. You get Nosler sporting handgun and custom competition bullets in Nosler head-stamped brass, loaded to the same strict tolerances as Nosler's match-grade rifle ammo. Handgun accuracy through match-grade ammo. Available in 9mm, 40, and 45. Visit Nosler.com.
The .45 Auto, also known as the 1911, is the standard other defensive pistols are measured against. No matter what pistol you carry, techniques developed around the 1911 are vital. You know you need training, and you know your concealed carry class definitely was not training. Now Gun Talk presents an exciting DVD, Fighting with the 1911 with Tiger McKee. Tiger's unique training style will have you drawing, moving, shooting, and running your gun better, no matter what style pistol you prefer. At ShopGunTalk.com, you can order our DVDs of Tiger's instruction. ShopGunTalk.com also has a 2-DVD set, including Concealed Carry 1. Get both for the information you know you need. This really is life and death. ShopGunTalk.com has DVDs, books, and other essential gear. ShopGunTalk.com. That's ShopGunTalk.com.
Hi, I'm Michael Bain. You know I hate cleaning guns, so anything that makes that job faster and easier is definitely a plus. And that's where Bore Tips come in. These reusable, lint-free cleaning swabs make cleaning a breeze. And the tighter-fitting Bore Tips do a better job on barrels than cotton mops or patches. Hey, it's a dirty job. Let Bore Tips help. To find a dealer, visit BoreTips.com.
Gun Talk continues from the Crimson Trace booth at the SHOT Show.
Or do we ever? We are having so much fun here. You know what? I would just sit and talk with you for the next hour. How's that?
Oh, that would be wonderful.
My dear friend Jane Ann Shimizu from Gunsite, I am so glad that you are here. And you walked in the Crimson Trace booth and you followed up the Simuntion guys. And what's the first thing you said?
I'm Simuntion trained.
You are. You're certified in Simuntion.
I am certified in Simunitions, and we also have Crimson Trace classes. So I'm right at home here.
There you go.
In fact, look, there's the range.
Oh, there you are, right there. That's your shooting range. That's Gunsite right behind us on the big video screen. For anyone who's just landed on the planet, what is Gunsite?
Gunsite Academy is the world's oldest, largest, and most premier firearms training facility in the world.
There you go.
We've been around since 1975. Jeff Cooper founded Gunsite.
Jeff Cooper.
Yes, he did, and he had a great idea. We were the only game around for a very long time, and now you see training facilities everywhere, but I can guarantee you most of them have been through Gunsite.
I was trying to explain to somebody actually yesterday. I said, you don't quite understand how revolutionary Jeff Cooper was and what a visionary he was, because we take it for granted now that people shoot a pistol with two hands. When those guys were doing leather slap and all that stuff, all the cops, everybody was shooting revolvers one-handed from a crouch, right? I mean, it's crazy stuff. And they kept experimenting. They said, well, actually, we're better if we put two hands on a gun. And it was like everybody thought, well, that's cheating. You can't do that. And now we take it for granted. I mean, that's how revolutionary this guy was.
There's a great picture in our classroom of Jeff Cooper in one of the very first IPSC matches ever. I know Robbie was here a few minutes ago, and he reminded me, everybody was shooting one-handed, and Jack Weaver came up and started shooting two-handed, and everybody said, that's just baloney. And until they realized he was winning. That's
right. I said, well, real men shoot with one hand. Yeah, except that he's beating you guys every time.
Exactly.
I think maybe we'll try that.
Exactly. And now it doesn't matter if you shoot a Weaver, if you shoot isosceles. Even if you're shooting isosceles, your elbows are bent just a little bit. And it is a way to go. Robbie Leatham can attest to that.
That's a good point. People think, well, if you go to Gunsite, they're going to make you use a Weaver stance, right?
No, maybe when Cooper was in charge of Gunsite, he was, tricyclophobia was alive and real. But I got to tell you what, if you're shooting well in your isosceles stance, however you are getting that round down range and in that target, we're not going to change you unless you need help.
We should also explain that you are actually an instructor at Gunsite. So,
I instruct the ladies' classes. I'm the marketing director, so I don't have a lot of time to instruct.
I know, but you do instruct.
I do, and I love teaching women how to shoot.
Ladies' classes, how are they doing there?
Women are really getting involved in our industry. In fact, I think we're going to take it over.
I think you already have.
And how many years I've been saying you need a gun for every outfit?
Yeah, exactly.
And you need a different gun for every purse, because women have to dress differently for every occasion.
Right. And we have women who have kind of awakened and said, there's really nobody going to take care of me.
Exactly.
I'm going to take care of me. I don't think I know how to do this. But there's a problem sometimes with women taking a mixed class, isn't there?
Well, I prefer women taking a mixed class. We have ladies-only classes, and those are for the women who don't have the confidence.
Yes.
To take a class with men. But my first class, I was probably the only lady in there, and I outshot a lot of guys. Women are very good shots.
That's actually not unusual for the women to outshoot the men. And why?
Because everyone says it's because we don't have any bad habits, but I think it's because we listen.
Oh, that's exactly it. Guys come in, I know this stuff, and I'm a man, I have testosterone, that must make me a shooter. No. And about the second day, somewhere in the middle of the second, end of the second day, the women start outshooting the men, and so, there you go.
It is so much fun to see women, when that light bulb goes off and they really realize that, wow, I can do this.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's outrageously fun, too.
Outrageously fun. I have the best job in the world, and I know it.
Gunsite is north of Prescott, Arizona, and Paulden. There are plenty of places to stay when you go. You can stay at Prescott. That's not a problem.
As you know, I live in Prescott, and we're an hour and a half north of Phoenix.
Yep.
And tons of places to stay. We've got a 5-star camping ground if you've got one of those big old RVs. And we try to make it as easy as possible for everybody to get to Gunsite.
I have told many people, I said, here's the thing. I don't know of anything else I can say this about, honestly. But I can say this. Your first trip to Gunsite will change your life.
It's an epiphany.
It is an epiphany. It changes your life. Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Why is that?
Why is that? Because on the 5th day, you don't want to go home. You learn something every day. It's a building block type of training. And most of the people who come out to Gunsite have never had any formal training.
Right.
And we can take a gun in a box. We can take anyone who's never shot, and by the 5th day, they are confident enough to live with their firearm.
Isn't that amazing?
And that is the epiphany. Wow, I can do this.
That's it. Hold on a second. We're talking a bit more about this in just a second. We're at Gunsite. No, we're not, actually. I wish I was at Gunsite.
You were looking at the video.
I was. I'm at the SHOT Show, but I always wish I was at Gunsite. We'll be right back.
GUNTALK stands for safety, personal responsibility, and common courtesy. To be a part of the show, call 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. GUNTALK will be right back. Welcome back to the Crimson Trace booth at the SHOT Show. Here's Tom with even more gun industry news.
Sitting here just swapping old stories, having a ball with our good friends, Jane and Shimizu from Gunsite. We have done this show so many times together. We have shot so many times together out there. It's like your family, you know. I mean, your husband hangs out with my wife. What's that all about? You know, it's just
true.
It is true. I mean, we're not making this up. We hang out together. So, what's going on at a Gunsite? What's new? What's cooking?
You know, Gunsite has a new operations officer. His name is Ken Campbell.
I mean, Ken's like one of the best guys ever.
And Ken has come in. He's been an instructor at Gunsite. His first class was in the early 90s. And
30 years in law enforcement, former sheriff, you know.
But he's come in with new ideas and 3D targets and, you know, Crimson Trace and...
you have Crimson Trace classes then?
We have Crimson Trace laser classes. We do 2 a year. And everyone who's carries a laser anymore. I mean, you see lasers everywhere.
Were you like me at first? You said no lasers?
Yep.
And then we tried them?
Yep. And then I tried them.
Yep.
And then we learned how to train with them. And then we created the class. So if you're going to carry, especially at night, carry a laser. Why not? It's just another tool.
Chances are it's going to be in a low light situation.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. So you got Crimson Trace classes.
You know, we're doing a lot of simunitions now. We have added a pistol simunitions class, a carbine, a shotgun class.
Interesting.
They're all simulators and simunitions. All of our upper level classes have simunitions, and a lot of our media events are now going to start doing simunitions.
That is smart. I mean, it's a completely different experience. And you're able to do some things in terms of just basic training with people using sims because you have a no recoil. And there's a lot of aspects to it that are really good.
And you know, when you go into a simulator, whether it's an indoor or an outdoor simulator, you get an adrenaline rush.
Yes.
I mean, you get it, and it's fabulous.
It's funny. People say, well, you know, it's more like a game. Says, no. When you step in there, it's absolutely real, isn't it?
But when you step in there and a bad guy comes around the corner and shoots at you,
that's
totally different. You learn to take cover.
Yes.
You learn what you're doing. It's amazing.
And you also learn to pay attention. I remember the last time I was there, I went through the shoot house, came out, and the guy says, need to talk to you about that window. What window? The window you walked right past where the bad guy was outside the window.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I did one. I was in a simulator. It was an outdoor simulator, and they simulated hiking down the way, and this guy's over here, and he's going, lady, help me. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm too smart for this. I'm going to call 911. In the tree on the other side of the path was the bad guy who shot me in the stomach with the 223.
There you go. So that's what we learned.
Yep.
So there we go.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff you get. Carbine classes, shotgun classes, all sorts of handgun classes. It's available for anybody. Go to the website is
www.gunsite.com.
It's GUNSITE, gunsite.com. Got any calendars?
Got calendars. I'll send you a calendar. I'll send you whatever I can find laying around.
Cool.
A pin. Yes.
All right. So they just go to the website for that?
Go to the website, contact us, and I get the email.
You get them.
Yep.
Okay. So they're going to hit your desk.
Yep.
Okay. So we can blame you.
You can blame me for everything.
I always have.
Everybody does anyway, so why not?
Take a number. There you go. All right. So, all right. I would just tell people, and you know I'm not making this up, Gunsite is like one of my 2 or 3 favorite places on the planet. It's when I am there, I feel like I am home. Everybody there is carrying a gun, and all the guns are loaded.
And we run a hot range.
And you're on a hot range, and that's as it should be.
Yes.
And it's amazing how polite, responsible, and caring people are.
And you know, Arizona's constitutional carry state now, so you can go in the grocery store, open carry.
That's right. Don't need a permit at all.
Or you can carry concealed.
You can carry concealed without a permit. You can carry open. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
That's what we like about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure, and pass along my best to all the folks there. I just think all the folks at Gunsite are the best.
I will.
And I'm so glad that Ken's there. That's great. Can't wait to get out there.
He's going to do a good job. You come back.
I will do that. Gunsite.com. You guys just check it out. If you go over there, they will take care of you, I guarantee you. All right, I'm Tom Gresham. We're at the SHOT Show. We're in the Crimson Trace booth in Las Vegas. Be right back.
No black helicopters here, just the facts about gun rights and gun ownership. This is Gun Talk.